Hello everyone, what a chaotic month it has been. So I moved from Brighton to Oxford, and now that I'm safe and settled in my new home, I wanted to talk a bit about why I felt I had to make this move, because honestly, it broke my heart a little bit to do so. So for the past 4 years in Brighton, I've been living with an addict. I didn't know this when we first agreed to move in together, and I don't think she did either. I really feel it's only been in this past year that she's realised just how bad her problems have become. Obviously, I have a lot of sympathy for her, and over the years I've tried to encourage and support her in getting help in so many different ways, but she has not wanted to be helped in the first place, and that's not something I can help her do. When we first moved in together, we had a candid conversation about our mental health, and I was under the impression we were both sex workers with complex mental health issues who were back on track and ready to get help and start recovery. But a few years in, she told me she'd lied about this. She wasn't diagnosed, let alone seeking help from doctors. And there were all sorts of issues as well. Drug residue on the kitchen counters, blood in the bathroom sink, very fresh and raw self-harm all over her limbs, which I found especially difficult to be around with my own history, and she knew that. These destructive behaviours led to her losing all of her local friends, including the mutual friends she had with me, so she turned to the internet and made friends in VR chat and Discord in other countries. This would have been great, however, it meant that she swapped her schedule to stay awake all night with blackout blinds drawn at all times, talking and laughing really loudly on calls. This would already wake me up, but we were also living in a block of flats with families and young children on every side, so we would have neighbours hammering on our door and ringing the bell at 2, 3 a.m, triggering my PTSD every time. The whole thing became so stressful that my mental health practitioner prescribed me extra medication to help me calm down and essentially sedate me each night. It was hell, but I was earning literally 10 times less than her and had become very shut in and afraid of leaving my own room, so it was looking impossible to find someone and somewhere else to live. Then, one of my best friends who's currently living in my home county mentioned a room was becoming available in the queer cooperative house he's a part of. Of course, I jumped at the opportunity. So now here I am. Let me show you around my new home. So first and most importantly, the house shares a cat. This is Blue Moon. She's almost 2 and she wandered into our garden as a kitten. We think she's from one of the stray colonies around the area, so I'm really glad that we could take her in and keep her safe. The door straight ahead is a large bathroom and wet room, and to the left is a bedroom, and then we come to the living room with a wall-mounted TV and a piano, and there's a lot of whimsical decor around too that you might see as we host theme parties sometimes. Going through, we get to the spacious kitchen, and there's a lot of sharing of meals and cooking together, which is such a nice change. Towards the back is our conservatory, which is mostly a laundry room, and we have a garden too, although it's overgrown right now. Returning to the entrance, say a quick hello to Moon, and then up the stairs. So straight ahead is another bedroom, and then at the far end of this corridor is a third bedroom. The far right door is a tiny bathroom and shower, the closest door a cupboard, and next is my room. But before I show you around, here's the spare room for guests. And going up another flight of stairs directly opposite to my door is my best friend's room. It's a really big one-floor space, nice and big, so they set up a tiny living room and kitchenette space for us to use because we just hang out together so often. I'm so excited to be living here, but before I can settle in, I need to buy and build some furniture from IKEA, and I'm bringing you along with me, so let's go. Now it's finally time to take a better look at my new room. So this first thing that you can see is my wall pocket organizer from the recent Kuromi and My Melody Dolly Mix design, and then my huge mirror sitting on the 9-shelf Kallax from my old place. Hello! My mum got me a nice glass bowl for my Marimo, and the jar on the far right is where I'm storing my gachapon charms for now. For the shelves themselves, I was gifted some storage boxes for my birthday this year because this room is obviously so much smaller than my last one, and I have so much stuff. But anyway, each shelf is themed after certain things. So this first one is themed around the deep sea, and then this middle one is my Piplup shrine, and this last one is inspired by frozen Arctic oceans. Next to that unit are even more shelves, so again let me go through the theme of each one. So to the left are my Eastern and Western comics, and to the right is my Club Penguin collection, then my Cinema Roll shrine and a shelf that blends Heisei and Fruitager themes, and then we've got my Ochiken shelf and altar to Alba, which I'm very proud of. Then here's my wonderful Gotochi Kitty display and a shelf inspired by warm tropical oceans, and at the top is my DS collection, and finally my skincare and Texture Dog. Anyone remember those? Anyway, getting to the actual room itself, this is my little Windows XP background. I was so attached to it in my old place, and now I have an even nicer carpet for it. This rail at the top is for any future backgrounds that I might want to hang, and I've moved all of my jewelry into this mirror, which feels so fancy. And then of course the wardrobe and Kallax unit you saw me put together, with extra boxes on top for even more stuff. By the window is a new ottoman to be both storage and a little bench, and then my bed and bedside table. Ignore the bowl, I have a chronic vomiting disorder, okay? But Zhenbei the whale shark keeps guard over my domain. And then we have my collage wall, made mostly from Gotochi Kitty merchandise, because the art style is just so comforting to me for some reason. Oh, I have a shelf for my Miku goods on the right here. And then another shelf will be put in this gap in the middle that I've marked out. And then this left shelf is for my favorite Wii games and very small The Dog Artist Collection. And this space is obviously my gaming desk. My Virus Sweets girls sit on my TV nicely, and the drawers still fit really well, so I've kept those. But I've swapped my wheelchair for my old gaming chair, and I've put a blue cover over it to make it fit my aesthetic and just feel a lot comfier on my skin again. Also, check out the little towel on the headrest. It perfectly matches the rest of my theme. Like the notebook you might have seen on the shelf earlier, this design is from the Pokemon Diving collection. And finally, on the back of my door, I have all my bags. A few of them have other bags inside them because I only had so much room, but I think this works to highlight my favorites. So what do you think of my new place? I'm already infinitely happier here, and I can't wait to start this new chapter of my life. I have some really exciting plans coming up too, so I hope I'll see you again soon.